there friends, it's your favorite neighborhood nerd Simone. I'm here with yet another snippet from my desk video and I'm so glad you're here. Today is an awesome sunny summer day. Actually, it's 7:16 in the morning and so there's still cool air and it's so awesome. So I wanted to show you, this is Nevada in the summer in June, and I'm here and you are too, and I'm so glad about it. So today I want to talk about some things like how I swatched the inks that I received from my friend Amy. I think it turned out amazing. There's going to be 2 videos, but I'm going to show you the end result later on. And then I'm also attempting an Inky mess that goes completely awry. Yes, I already filmed the desk part, just filming the intro. That's why you're getting to know what is coming. And then I'm talking about my planner. No, not my planner. My planner is still my Hobonichi weeks, and that doesn't seem to change, at least for the rest of the year of 2025. But my journal, my creative journal in my Take-A-Note, that is going to change. And I'm obviously loving to talk in tangents and tangential stories, and so that is exactly what you're going to get at the end of this video. What I wanted to tell you though is, now let's see if this is still working. Yeah, it's more shade. Well, maybe we're just gonna do this that way. So I was going to tell you about the book that I am currently reading, which is, let me grab my phone because the title is extremely long. It is The Millicent Quibb School of Etiquette for Young Ladies of Mad Science by Kate McKinnon. And she is by Edwina Candlestick, as told to Kate McKinnon. Kate McKinnon, I believe, is a comedian? Maybe actress. She was on Saturday Night Live, let's put it this way, and I am listening to the audiobook, but I feel like it would be amazing to have both. It is a middle grade novel about 3 siblings-ish. They're all the same age, but they're all in the same situation, that they do not fit into the society of aquarium. I think antiquarium. Oh my gosh, I can't even say it right. And it is hilarious. It's super funny, very refreshing, super short, like 5 hours on audio that you need to devote time to. And she makes voices. It's an experience. The listening to the audiobook is just so good. But I've seen from the look inside on Amazon that the illustrations in this book might also be worth getting both. The audiobook just for the listening experience, and then the actual book for the illustrations. I'm really thinking about getting it, to be honest. And yeah, I would highly recommend this. Of course, because we are adults, the messaging, it's predominantly funny and hilarious, but there is a message behind, and that is that there is adults that stand up for you, even if you do not fit in to normal society. That normal, you know, what is normal even? That there is a community for you where you will fit in. And I think that is so awesome, even though, I mean, we'll see. There she goes off on a tangent. I am just realizing that this is the first time that I can actually identify the messaging on a book easily. Maybe I should continue reading middle grade just for this experience. Yes, but you should totally read it just for the listening experience. So we will go and move on to the desk. We've had a massive downpour 2 days ago, and you can see how the area here, like there was so much water that it washed out the hill over here, and all of the footpath here is covered in mud. You can see it over here too, like how it poured down. There is, oh, over there, like if you look directly ahead, you can see the water ways. Rillen. What's a rille? I don't know. But I wanted to show you because I find this super interesting. I've never seen anything like this before. It was maybe an hour or 1.5 hours where there were like thunderstorms, but just very very low. Oh my god, I can't talk. It's when you're bilingual kind of and you can't find the words, it's hard. Like there was a thunderstorm right here, but over there it was dry. That's how isolated they were. It was really weird. And there was mud running down the street, taking rocks along, like not small like these, but also not like, you know, big boulders, just too big to safely drive over. There's even more stuff right here. But I wonder if not lived here long enough to know if this is something that happens frequently, if this is a new occurrence. Max, come on. No. We're not going into that bush. There's stuff right here. If this is something that happens frequently, or if this is a new occurrence. I'm just curious because this is washing away areas. Okay, I should stop talking because I don't really know what I'm saying. Alrighty. Also, I need to pay attention because rattlesnakes. I think I have an intro for this video from outside. But remember when I talked about the ink bottles? Yes, last week. This is how I swatched them. There is going to be 2 videos. I basically swatched them in half. And it was a lot of fun. And I love this paper for inks. I also love a lot of other papers for inks. I was thinking of swapping out Monteverde Chameleon for Ink Institute Cat at Midnight, which is one of the inks that my friend Amy gave me. It's right here. But they're not really similar at all. So there's that. We could do another one. I also have been thinking, because I really liked Yoi, Urameku Yoi, as well as Urameku Seki in these in the swatch on this paper. This is a different paper. This is Maruman Sketchbook. I showed this in last week's video. I bought it at Daiso, and I thought, I want to see what these inks look like on this paper. Is it very different? And so maybe we can just drop some drops on there. What else do I want to do today? I want to show you. I've seen this, I think, who does this? Blue Penchant? But is this always this much ink, maybe? Oh, okay, cool. I have another pen that I swapped with a friend, so I thought I'd show you that one and then compare it to the other two that I really like right now. Okay, this is what that looks like. Now what? More? How do you do that it's like, you have to go from higher up? Compare it with the Bone Crusher 7 Studios Velma and the Hawktown Swansea that I showed you last week. Oops, nope, that did not spill. I'm just playing here, as you might be able to see. I have a really huge journal update. Maybe I need to also film a Techo Kaigi for that. Okay, so that is this. What happens? Maybe I need to pull out the other one, Amamoyoi. Then I have all three of those Urameku inks here. Oh, look at this. I need to rinse this. And then okay, I think what I'm going to do now again is just, so this is, what is this one? Seki was the one that I just put on here. This one is Yoi then. It feels more blue. I'm not trying to save ink here. What I'm trying to do is just get some of the wetness of the page. Okay. Yep. So now I'm thinking, if I'm already dropping stuff down here, what other things should I drop? What will fit? So this is Seki on mixed media paper from Kanzen. This is Seki on the Maruman sketchbook paper. Very different. Yoi is very dark and gray with a tiny tinge of blue, I think, but not a lot. So what other things could I put down here then? Let me just see what the ink bottles have to say. How about we drop some sea glass on there? That should give us, oh no, I didn't didn't want to keep Amamoyoi, so okay. I can't believe, so I saw a photo on Instagram. I need to figure out where that is, who posted that, and then share a screenshot of that here, because I can't believe it took so much time, and it's like full of splatters. It's not just a tiny bit like here. There's not as much white space here, there, than it is here. This must take so much time. I don't have time. I don't have time for this. Let me bring out the light blue whale, because I love that name of the ink. Oh my god, so much. I guess I'm keeping this ink. Oh, I already decided to keep it. Because I don't want anyone to have these inks like this, and then me dumping ink back when I might contaminate it. So these are mainly inks that will go into parallel pens possibly, or to play like this. Okay, I have Twisby Midnight Blue. I'm wondering, maybe a few drops of this might work as well. Okay. Oh my god, so many splatters. That's fine. What if we drop water on here? Is this something that I even want to explore? I'm really drawn to those big circles that I made on the other page. So I'm wondering if that's something that I should bring in here, or if that is like if that is going to mess it up. But also, if I don't try it out, then I will never know, right? So I guess I should. I feel like the midnight blue was not a good idea, but that's okay. So here's the pen. If I just go like this, straight, no, I don't like straight lines. Circles, okay. Big ones, medium ones, okay. Nope. Nope. Why do I not just stop? Because I feel like I won't get the whole experience. Why is there no water? Okay, this sucks. I don't like this. Okay, now what? Oh, look at, but still. Is there water on this page? Nah, not at all. So what happens? Okay, so these drops would have been nice if I had just left them like I had them in the beginning. But unfortunately, I needed to try the circles, and then I realized that I don't like it. Oh no. And now everything is just blue. Now what? How about we come in like this? Well, that was an experiment. What I like about this is the sea glass. There's all these pink dots underneath. Oh, I like this. Looks kind of like bleach almost. So the circle idea wasn't cool, but that's what I've been doing, and I really love it. Even though this one didn't work out that well, this one I really love. And I intend to make more. So page number 3 in like 5 days. That I like. So just gonna see what is happening next. I want you to go and do something like this. Just because you can. Not because you have to. And just play. You have so much ink, you don't need all of it. Okay, what else? Let me close this water here. Put those inks back where they were. Oh, I wanted to put those. I said I was going. Well, then I guess they're not inks to put into fountain pens. Inks to play. This midnight black, I think I'm gonna go give away because I don't like it. The pen. So I've been using this. Oh, is there ink underneath? Well, ooh. And I want to rinse this out because I don't like how this looks. So I am trying. Oh, I could just put all of those with clips here. And then put all those without clips over here. That would work. But then my $1 million pens touch each other, which I don't really have a problem with that. So Here it is. So, may I introduce you to Purple Glitter Bomb. I actually think this is more of a magenta glitter bomb. I swapped this. I recently shared a Franklin Christoph P20 with you that I received as a gift from one of my friends who didn't want this. She likes the pen, but she didn't want this particular resin anymore. And so she gifted it to me because I wanted to try it out, the pen. Now, Franklin Christoph and I pens don't get along. I wish it was differently, but it isn't. I really like their pens, but maybe it's the climate that I am in. They dry out on me all the time. So I didn't feel right to sell that pen. And so when Wendy Sue reached out and said, if you ever want to do something with this pen, if you want to sell it, then let me know. And I said, I would rather not sell it, but if you are up to trade with me, I'm happy to. And I don't suggest this to every single person ever. This was, I think, the very first time that I actually did. But I know that Wendy Sue kind of knows me. I think she watches many of my videos, so she knows my pen preferences. She knows what I like, what I don't like. And so she suggested some pens and found this one that she was able to let go of. And it is a magenta resin with hollow glitter, which you know I love. It is from Relic pens, and there is Relic pens engraved, let's see, right here. And that's all there is about this pen. I really like how it feels. The build quality is okay. The section is a little narrow, but it's not tiny. It feels good in the hand. And here is the other two pens that I recently shared in my Snippets from my desk videos. So you can clearly see that I have a type. And they're all a bit different, but they're also quite similar. So if I am comparing them, they are almost the same length. This one is very narrow in the back of the barrel. It doesn't post. Here is what it looks like. If you compare the grip sections of these pens, you can see that the Relic pen is the one that is the narrowest. But you know, it's still it's still okay. And I have also learned that not all of my pens are pens that are staying with me forever. They might, but it's not something that I necessarily has to happen. I'm currently pretty sure that most of these pens that are over here are going to stay, but maybe especially with those hand turn pens, when you have so many different iterations, so many different makers, there might be pens that are just here for a while and then they move out for something else. This was originally, Wendy Sue told me that this was called, or Inks and Anchors called this Purple Glitter Bomb. This one she got from Inks and Anchors, and it wasn't clear what the pen model was. The resin is a pour by Relic pens that he didn't name, and so she named it Purple Glitter Bomb. So there's that. I like it. But what nib, she sent it without a nib, and I think the nib that I put on here is a fine nib. And I inked it up with, let me show you. Ooh, there we go. A little high. What if I turn on this light as well? Is that okay? Can you, here's the pen, by the way. Let me see. Yamabudo would work absolutely perfectly in this pen, but I inked it with Waterman, Tender Purple, and if I'm not mistaken, and I haven't accidentally given away the nib that is in here right now, I also got this from Candice from Inks and Anchors, because the Walltown Watts pen that I have, I also purchased from Candice from Inks and Anchors, and that came with a fine nib. So let's talk journals, because I have a, boy, do I have a surprise for you. Now, the only thing that I don't know where it is. Let me grab it. So I just went where I put this. This is not as bad as I thought it would. I didn't like it at first. I still don't really like the circles that are still visible. I might have had to dissolve those more. But I'm glad I put the kitchen towel on top, because now this actually looks kind of cool. I like that light blue background. And if I don't do these, and if I don't try things out, I will never find what I like. So here we go. Let's put this away. This is my take a note. You can see it's quite slim right now. I need something else. Do you want the big story? I will tell you the big story because I love telling tangential stories. I recently watched a video by Maike of Cat Collage Club, where she, I think in passing basically, said that she was using her Hobonichi until the end of June, and then she was moving on to a different journal. And I think I remember, I feel like this is what I remember. I thought, that's interesting. I'm using my journal for the whole year. And then I moved on, and I didn't give this a second thought or anything. And then I inked my new pens, and this ink bled through this side. This ink bled through here. There is some ink to be seen. The Waterman Tender Purple bled through right here. And I was like, I've had it with this journal. I really like using all of the different colors of my pen, and I want to know that I can use all of them, not just some of them. I curate a color palette where inks, in my mind, work really well together, and I love putting these entries 4 days or 4 happenings like this next to each other, and I want these colors kind of to play with each other. I hope this makes sense to you, but I need all of the colors to work because I rely on using them. But if stuff bleeds through, this is not super excessive. I've had it in this journal where it was so excessive that I could not use the other side. It causes anxiety, and I only noticed that I was anxious writing in this book with my fountain pens when I started using my book journal that I am sharing in a different video soonish. I think I talked about it before here, but just a quick glimpse. This is a regular traveler's notebook insert from the Traveler's Company. It's lined. I'm able to use all the pens. Nothing bleeds through. There's no ghosting. And once I started using this, I realized how anxious I was when I was filling in these pages. And that started that process of, am I like, who is this person who says that I have to use this for the whole year? When I started using fountain pens in here, it was I didn't have a lot of bad experiences for the longest time. This is when I tried using my Pelikan M800, completely bled through all of this here. So when did I start using colored fountain pen inks? I guess not here yet. There's no bleed through here, so you can actually even see this because there's nothing on this side. I think here I tried my March currently inked pens, and ever since then I did not have any problems at all. So I thought, well, I guess I dodged the thing. There was just one page and that's it. Yeah, no, either I'm back at the place where I started, in the sense that now I'm encountering bad paper again, but it's bad. It feels bad. And it sounds weird, but I am low-key anxious every time I'm putting a nib to the page. And this is not what I want to feel. This is my journal. I want to enjoy every single second of it. And so when this happened, I was kind of pissed. And then I wrote this, and for some reason, while I was thinking this, we had a thunderstorm. It was wet, it was dark, I was inside. I was like, you know what? This is perfect to dissect. This is an open bound notebook. I guess I am losing the last page, but it's not really a big deal. I can just cut out now I have no idea what these are called. I lost the word. The sky is so beautiful outside. It's evening, but it's blue, and the setting sun rays making the clouds orangey yellow, and then dark from the bottom. Oh my God, so beautiful. Here, this is just through my dirty window, but I wanted to show you. Isn't this just so stunning? Oh my God, I love it. I feel like it starts with a C, and I'm just going to tell you all the words that are in my mind that are not it. So, compadres, companions, sections, canedrians, I feel like it's almost here, but so whatever this is, this one, like the notebook in a notebook, this is just one, whatever, compadre, compartments, consections, conedrium. Oh my God, this is driving me up the wall. Why do I not remember this word? Conudrium. So, this notebook just consists of one. Bigger notebooks consist of more than just one of these. And so I looked through and decided, okay, I'm going to finish out the month. I could start whenever. I'm trying to break out of the rules, but at the same time, I'm also boxing myself in other rules. I like finishing out something at like a month, a week. This feels very sensible to do, to finish out the month in this. So I just looked at the Comedrium Compartimente that went to the 30th of June, which is this one. So it's right in the middle of one of these compartimentes. Oh my God. And then went to the end and just sliced through with a knife. I had to rip out this last page right here. And then I just stuck this page that is part of this segment to this back that is adhered to this fly leaf. And then I decided that this is good enough for me. And now I have June is the last month in here, even though I could technically go through the end of July. Well, yeah, July 27th. I'm not going to do this. Same with the self-imposed rules. I like half and half. Makes a lot of sense to my brain. So these are the sections that are left, and maybe I'll use them for something else. Maybe I'm not. The paper isn't bad. I could use the front, but I cannot use this here with any pen that I have inked, and then know that this here is not contaminated. And because it is dated and I like using my journal like this is not something that I can do. So and every so often I think I have the word, it's not falling out of my mouth. I don't know. So what I'm going to do and what I've been thinking of doing in 2026, so I guess I can test now if this is what I want to do. I'm just going to move into a traveler's notebook insert. I actually already put a sticker on it. I received a letter from my friend Pamela, and this sticker was included, and I thought, even though I'm not paying attention because I want to look for something positive, these images here is what I am looking at all the time, and where I'm noticing things, and these details and noticing these details bring me a lot of joy. So even though maybe the sentiment isn't necessarily 100% how I'm living my life right now, I loved the imagery, because basically this mountain is over there. So I stuck that on here, and I just went and looked what I had. I have quite a few inserts, but I ultimately decided to go with a grid, because I feel that moving from this structured-ish layout to a completely blank page might throw me. And the reason why I think it might throw me is not necessarily that I'm writing in every grid line, that I'm using the times over here. I've said this over and over again. I'm saying it again because maybe this is the first video that you're watching, but if it is and you're still here, you're crazy. You're a nerd. Just pat yourself on the back and say, I'm a nerd. I belong here. I'm using these as stuff that is already on the page that I can build on, my layout. There is this faint bigger line right here that suggests the
2 columns for this. There's this great outline here, and I am using all of these to, well, to create my spreads, basically. These are not good examples at all. Maybe I've gotten looser. That could totally be the case. But I thought that I might be more successful with, first of all, a similar color of paper. So this is, take a note, Sans In paper. This is MD paper, but it's the white one. And it's grid, so there is something here, maybe not as thought out and useful. I'm not sure that I used it much though. When I look at it now, I'm like, okay, it's there, but I'm not thinking or feeling that I'm using this all the time. So there is grid. I'm telling you what I like. So use the grid because it might be easier to transition into this format. This is a very slim and tall size, so this page is wider, but it's also it's reminiscent of this column style. This is dated, and I have actually been using the dates quite well, so that's why there's often empty spaces here, because I do try to actually journal every day. Ever since I started the 10 minutes of joyful thing, creative thing in the morning, I've been able to, maybe not in the last week, to add more and more to every day. So that is here. And the thing that I'm a little scared of is that I don't have dates for 2 reasons. I like that these are here, but also they're not overpowering. And I fear that any way I am going to bring in a date here is going to be very loud and visible. But I also, as I said, I really like this layout. I would like to ease into this without changing up too much. So I feel like maybe I should date it. Because it's not dated, I'm also afraid that what if I am not as consistent as I was here, because there are dates, because I'm kind of daily journaling right in here. I am leaving gaps for stuff that I want to talk about. Is this just going to be Monday, next Monday, the Monday after, and every time I'm trying to journal but I'm not doing it? That's something that I'm kind of scared of. And then another thing that I noticed when I talked about these 4 columns here and how these pens and inks and all of this play with each other. Well, this side, okay, there's gunk here. I don't want this. This is just 1, but there's only 2 here. So basically what I'm creating is this. And it might be enough. If I look at this right here, I think, yeah. Why would I want this also on this spread? But it also might not. It might change the whole way that I go about using a journal again. And that's the stuff that I'm scared about. But I've already cut it down. I decided that I'm going all the way in. I'm not going to overthink things. If it feels right in my gut, I'm doing it. And so here I am. I'm currently, because this is the first one, I don't know how long it takes me to fill this. What I'm just going to do is add this. Is there ink on here? No. But I think because I opened so many bottles with dried ink at the top, crusty stuff, there might be some stuff that I need to clean off. I think I'm just going to use a jump band and put my book journal and my regular journal in one single TN. I like this idea a lot. And once I see where this is going, how many journals I'm filling up, I can still move on and make a different decision and say I want to have all of my journals for the next 6 months in one Traveler's Notebook cover. That's all the different options that I have. It is, what time is it? It's 8:30. Okay, well, I usually go to bed at like around 9-ish, so I guess I'm allowed to yawn. But that's about all I had to talk about. And yeah, weird, right? I can't believe I did this, but also I'm so excited that I did. So we will see how that is going to work out for me. I do have the Love and Trip insert. I recently actually sold some of my Traveler's Notebook inserts because I knew that I didn't want to use them. Yep. But that was before I learned how comfortable it is to know that the paper works. So I sold a lot of the specialty inserts that I had collected over the time. Yeah. I think the diner one is gone. I'm not sure. Maybe it's somewhere in my mess. I think the diner one I gave to my friend Claudia. I also think the road trip one, but the hotel one? Where's that then? I don't know. So I do still have quite a few Traveler's Notebook inserts, so I'm just going to work my way through those and see how that is going to go. But I'm excited. It's still going to take a bit until I'm gonna start July. I mean, it's gonna go faster than I think it will, but also I can still comfortably say goodbye to this journal. I really wish this was different paper because, to be honest, even though there's a lot of gaps, as you saw, I really love this. I love the layout. I love the book. Everything about this book is amazing, except for the paper. And that is what broke me and what led me to make the decision to move over here. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again soon. Until next time, bye.